with the first lecture for today from GameInfluencer and Bytro Labs. So I believe we already do have the speakers in the studio. Hi, Andre. Hi, Alexander.
Hi, Igor.
Hey, hi, Igor.
How are you guys?
Doing great. And you?
Doing great.
Also good. So today's topic is Paris. It's a kind of place where we are virtually broadcasting from. So first of all, where are you located?
I'm located in Munich, Germany.
And you, Alexander?
And I'm in Hamburg, also Germany.
Great. Yeah, I haven't been in Germany for so long. Wish to go there hopefully soon when all the lockdown is over. So over to you right now. We are excited to listen to your presentation and your lecture.
Thanks, Igor. So first of all, thanks a lot for the White Knights Conference for providing us with the opportunity to be here speaking and sharing some insights of what we've learned about influencer marketing for niche games. And so a bit of myself. So I'm account manager here at GameInfluencer for around 2 years by now. And my role is basically to conduct influencer marketing campaigns along with the campaign managers and to make sure that we are not only hitting the client's KPIs, but also surpassing them. And we are doing that by aligning all the influencer activities with the client's expectations. So a bit of my own background. Before I joined GameInfluencer, I had my own indie studio for around 5 years, where I had the happy surprise of having more than 500 million views on YouTube with my games. And that got us around 20 million installs. And that's when I basically found my passion of connecting great games and great creators. Um, to be honest, my games weren't the greatest ones, but I'm glad that today we are uh, having the opportunity to work with great games such as the ones from Bytro Labs and Call for. So yeah, over to you, Alex.
Thanks, Andre. And thank you, White Knight Conference, also for giving to the opportunity to discuss our case study with influencer marketing and working with game influencers. So just a bit of background of myself. I'm French, but I studied my business school in Spain. I started working as a consultant in Accenture, but I decided I wanted to switch careers and go to marketing, which I have always liked. And as a huge video game fan, what was best than joining a video game company? So that's what I did, and I joined Gamino, which is a mobile game startup in Paris, actually. So I worked there on. So the company is focused on producing mobile games all around the sports area, so football, rugby, and so on. So when I joined, I started working in user acquisition for their new game, which was an idle game related to football. So really interesting. I learned a lot working at Gamino. And then I joined Bytro Labs in last January. So now it's been almost 10 months that I've been working at Bytro. And my main tasks are really focused on influencer marketing. So how to bring influencer marketing as a new channel for Bytro Labs for all our games. And why did I started working in influencer marketing? Turns out I've been an influencer myself in the past. So I reached about 100,000 subscribers doing French videos on Minecraft, basically. It was really nice, really interesting experience. And now I think it really helped me also to work on the other side of the mirror, I could say. So yeah, that's all you need to know about me, basically.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So before we dive into the presentation, I want to make a quick round of company introductions so you can have a baseline understanding of how we combine our efforts to achieve the results that I'm going to show you later on. So Alex, do you want to quickly start by saying a few
Sure.
words?
So Bytro is a German developer and publisher of high-quality online strategy games, which are free to play, and they all take place in different historical settings. So Bytro is also a part of the Stillfront Group, which is a Swedish global group of gaming studios since 2013. We started with our first hardcore strategy game, which is called Supremacy 1914 in the golden age of web gaming, and right now we have four major titles, which are Conflict of Nations, which is produced by Dorado Games, our sister company, Supremacy 1914, which was our first game, The Great War, and Call of War, which is a game that we have been working on for this campaign of influencer marketing. So a bit a quick overview of our games. There are long strategy games, which mean that games that can last weeks and months, sometimes depending on the number of players. They are always set up in PvP environments. You always fight real players on the maps, and they are in real time, which means that when you move one unit, it takes a real time, almost like it matters of hours to move in from one point to another. And they are also free to play. And what really makes our game special is the cross-platform. It means that you can play with the same account on mobile, tablet, and desktop, and that's really useful when, for instance, you're not on the computer and you want to check up if someone is attacking you by surprise or launching surprise attacks, so you can react properly. And that's really important to us, and one of the great features of our games.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all.
Thank you. So at GameInfluencer, as a full-service influencer marketing agency, our job is basically to conduct from the very beginning influencer marketing campaigns, starting in the strategy development, creating outstanding concepts that will be related to the client's KPIs. So we are very performance-oriented. Georg Broxteman, our founder, who is probably and hopefully listening to us right now, he was also the co-founder of the former Flare Games, and because of that, our DNA was always related to the performance and to achieve results and numbers, right? So aside from creating the concepts, briefing the creators, sourcing the creators, and contracting them, we have a very strong tech background from which we can optimize our campaigns and results by checking every content item that is going live. So a bit of our recent contents. I have a quick video here of around 40 seconds, and just need to share my computer sound, and you should be able to hear it.
Okay.
All right. So as you can see, all kinds of campaigns for all platforms. So we work on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and now also TikTok. So on our numbers, we have had in this past 5 years more than 200 different clients with unique campaign strategies for each one of them. We have worked directly with more than 10,000 influencers, and we have had more than 500 million views on these videos. And we operate worldwide, all 6 continents, and our database is by now with more than 3 million content creators. That said, we are now ready to jump into the great example of how we combined a great concept and a great game for achieving a positive ROI campaign. So let's start with the creators. So we had Diplex Heated, Pixelated Apollo, Raptor, Keraris, and I will name every one of them. They are so important for us. Karma Quid, Mafa's Game, Jackyfish, and the Sherminator. Those are all niche creators. They all play or very similar games or RTS war games. They are from micro influencers, and some are even macro, but most of them are mid-size, so a very comprehensive pool of creators. And then the strategy that we had here is very unique for the following experience we had. Basically, we all see engagement. We all know that's a very well-known fact that view means nothing and engagement means everything. But what level of engagement we can go? So some would say that, okay, likes and comments are good, but publishers are not looking for that for sure, or most of the times. But some would say that installs are the moment that you hand it to the publisher so they can work on the retention. And they are doing a great job in the retention, especially Bytro Labs here. But what if we could support the retention with the influencer marketing campaign? And that's precisely what we did with this campaign. So we had a concept with 3 videos where the creator was basically inviting his audience to play with him in a World War II map for 2 months, sometimes 1 month, depending on how long the map was running for. And in the first video, he was inviting the audience just to tell them, hey, there's a 100 map coming and you're free to join me. You can be allied to me or you can be my enemy. So the feeling that this concept gave to the audience was that it was a great opportunity for them to join their favorite creator or their idol in a very exciting battle. And they could even show up in the upcoming videos because the second video was an update video where they were showing the ranks and everything that happened. For example, I just attacked France. And then in the last video, they were making a summarize and sharing the winners. And of course, everyone was so invested in the game, so engaged that they all wanted to be there and the winners in the last video. So after having these 3 videos, we always run this data analysis to identify the trends so we can scale nicely the campaign for the upcoming content pieces. We are still having more creators. We have one going live this week. That's the 9th one. And I have here a couple of pieces just to give you this sense of how they were inviting the audience. This one was from Keraris, and I need to share my computer sound again. Here we go.
We shall never surrender.
Hey guys, it's Kraus and welcome everybody to Call of War. So just sit back, relax and enjoy. And ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be doing something totally different, but this is something I can get you guys involved in on as well. So thank you so much to Call of War for both sponsoring this video and for creating a custom 100 player battle where we can battle against each other.
Okay, and the other one is from Dplex Heated. He's actually one of our exclusive creators, and Simon's a very nice. He has a very nice personality. We are great friends by now, and here's it.
Hey, what's up guys, Duplex here again. Welcome back to another Call of War video. I know this is very unusual, me in front of the camera like this, but a big thank you to the developers behind Call of War for allowing me to make this announcement video today, announcing the Master Rivals game between me, Karma Cut, and Jackie Fish.
Okay, so in this concept, actually we had 3 influencers competing against each other in the same war. So it was a more advanced concept that we had further on. And that was super cool because they were basically mentioning each other and sharing the results every 3 days in each channel. And the results or the basic numbers that we could share here aside from the 25% CTR and some comments. As you can see, the sentiment of the audience was very great. We had Lil Pimp here saying, I've played a lot of Call of War, so watch out for Sweden. So as you can see, he's very excited about the war to come. We don't have, unfortunately, the time to go through all the comments, but the audience were super happy. So it was a triple win situation where we had the creator extremely glad that he had content that was extremely fitting to his channel. Then we also had the audience super glad with the opportunity to play with their idols. And Alex, you can correct if I'm wrong, but the publisher also happy to have happy and engaged users.
Yeah, totally.
So the last one we have here is it's just some numbers that we had so far: 8 influencers, more than 700,000 views, and more than 35 content pieces. Which, by the way, we even had one creator that started to create organic content, and he has produced around 2 or 3 extra videos after the sponsored ones. And yeah, that's was basically it for the example. What we have here is basically a structure. It's not a rule. It's not something set in stone, but it's the simplest way that I found to provide you with some inputs, so you can also try your own influencer marketing campaigns for your niche games. So first of all, identify your niche. You probably already have done that. Your lookalike titles, topics, and trends. Then build the concept. That's perhaps even the most important one, because you cannot do anything generic nowadays, basically. So everything that is generic, the likelihood that it will perform is not so good. We need a concept that is outstanding, because for unique products and unique games, you need a unique campaign, and they deserve that. And also, this concept must be tied to the in-game user flow. So it should be tied to the even to the monetization funnel. So if this concept is connected with the engagement inside the game of the users, that's the best way to go. So number 3, source the influencers. So basically connect with the most fitting creators and then align them with your plan. And 4, which is in fact the 4, 5, and 6, but that would have ruined my design here. Test, analyze, and scale. So you need to be on top of every single number, have good data, enough data to justify your upcoming actions, and then just optimize your efforts. So again, some campaigns, we run all kinds of campaigns, TikTok campaigns, Instagram campaigns for all types of games. So this structure might be shifted. It's not set in stone. It's just a way I found to bring you some easy starting point. And now I will pass on to Alexandre, who has more insights and the developer perspective of this campaign with some numbers. Yeah, over to you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you. So when we first wanted to bring influencer marketing to our games, we ran into a problematic. As I mentioned earlier, our game are long-term strategy games, which mean that the games tend to last week and even months, depending on the number of players, and they're also in real time. So you need to move really slowly, and that's what makes the game so interesting, because you don't have the right to do a mistake. If you move a unit to a border and then you get surprised or attacked on another one, then you basically lose, because you will take a lot of time to make the units come back. So that's one of the great features of our games. But on YouTube, showing some gameplay at some limits. So we worked with game influencers who tried to find how we can show more entertaining gameplay on YouTube. So what was our solution? Actually, we used our own features to tackle this issue, the custom map creation. So in our games, you're able to create custom maps. So basically, you play a map, and then but you can also create your own game rounds and invite people. So we decided to create a game for the influencer, so he then can invite his own viewers to play with him. And we added some special features that we can do. For instance, that the game starts only when it's full. Usually when you join a round of Call of War, sometimes it's already day 1 or day 2. Here we really wanted all the viewers to start in the same day. So the game will only start once all the viewers join. So that's really important. So everyone starts fairly. And also we had the opportunity to we use the opportunity to put a password. That means that only people from the community would be able to join this game, because then the influencer would share the game name and he will share the password, and then the viewer will be able to come, but people who don't have the password wouldn't be able to join. So as I said, we use kind of our own features to tackle this issue, and we came up with a new concept creation, which basically is the influencer shows the basic mechanics of the game. In first game he has been playing for 2 or 3 days already, and then at the end he would invite the viewers by sharing the game name and the passwords. Uh, Once the game starts, the influencer will do another video in the next 2 or 3 weeks to give an update, and that was really interesting because in the follow-up videos it can show how the map evolves, which is really the most one of the best feature of the game. You see the map evolve in real time, so you can see. I don't know if you start with France and then invades all Europe. You can see the evolution of the game, and that's where this concept was really great. You could see the evolution of the game, not showing only like a small part of gameplay. And then you will do a conclusion video on what happened in the end, who won the game, and you will see the final map with only 2 or 3 countries left that conquered all the world. So that's what this concept was really interesting to see. Wait, let me finish. We're really interesting in that sense that you can really grasp the evolution of the game itself. So what is the outcome for the influencer? It provides great content because the videos are really usually really high quality. You have a lot of interesting stuff to work with, the evolution of countries, backstabbing, and so on. And it also offers the opportunity to influence to play with this community, which is kind of a rare feature nowadays. I remember back in the day it was playing together with viewers on Minecraft, for instance, on Minecraft servers. So that's also something really great. And on the other hand, for the for the audio, for us it brings for the new users it brings the best onboarding experience you could have, because a new user, our game are quite complex, but when a user joins the game he will be playing with people who are experienced. A lot of people actually were level 40, for instance, and they were able to help new players in the game to understand the game, know what to do, and so on. So that's really great, because then they will be able to first play with their idol and also get to play with people from the same community that help each other. So now I will deep dive a bit more in the performance results. Yeah. So all this data is compared to our traditional Call of War integrations. When I say integrations, I refer to the 30 seconds, 60 seconds pre-roll on other type of channels. But here we are talking about dedicated videos which are 15 to 20 minutes on the game showing gameplay. So one thing is the CPM, of course, is higher. That's expected because the influencer has to play the game first to understand the game, and he also has to play it for in the long run because he's playing a game. So that's totally normal. On the other hand, we have the conversion rate up to from 20% to 40% compared to traditional integrations, meaning that people will click more to and are more eager to try the game if they see their influencers playing it properly. And regarding engagement metrics such as retention, we see an average of 2 times the retention we see on other traditional integrations. So what is the final result? We have a positive FROE without taking into account organics that we are not attributing. So it means the results are even better than that. But I also wanted to highlight some additional results that we can't really think of at the beginning. The first one is that we actually build presence on YouTube. So when people type Call of War on YouTube now, they will be able to see these dedicated videos from the influencers, so they can, if they don't, since our game are quite complex, if they don't understand it when they first try the game on their own and they type on YouTube Call of War, they will be able to see nice and entertaining videos on how to play and really get a better understanding of the game. On the other hand, we're also building long-term relationships with the influencers. That's something at Bytro we really want to do with all our partners, and that's something we are able to do with micro influencers. since we can then come back many times with them. So for different concepts, but also for different games. That's actually what we are doing right now. We are conflict donation mobile launch recently, and we came back to these influencers to do, instead of a game round of Call of War, a game round of conflict donations. So yeah, a lot of opportunities in the future. We also in the future test channel sponsorships with them by having a sponsored link on the hub on top of the channel. So yeah, a lot of great opportunities, and I wanted to thank game influencers to have been working with us on that to bring this concept to life.
No, thank you, Alex. That was a great pleasure, and it will be for the upcoming years. I'm sure we'll have a lot to run still. And yeah, before I pass over to Edgar again, I just want to wrap up here. Thanks everyone for listening to us, and just say that if you're looking to your own custom influencer marketing campaign, you can count on us to support you. We run, as I said, in all platforms, now TikTok. We are also licensing content for ads usage. So just reach out to us and let us talk through your game and see what are the opportunities there. Yeah, no, now over to you, Edgar.
Thank you very much, Andre and Alexander. This was a great lecture to listen to. And I have a question for you, if you mind. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Influencer marketing campaigns are often considered as a kind of source of revenue and new users for your game or an app when you are kind of full with other resources. Like, for example, you want to try something new, and that's how you go to influencers. Is there any room to boost your game's activity and engage more players for indie companies and small developers?
All right. So first, I would politely disagree on the first sentences. I'd say that influencer marketing might be a good solution also to expand after the initial efforts that you're doing with ads. But we have seen a lot of campaigns from the get-go acquiring users since the beginning. And of course, it heavily depends on the product, but we have seen this is almost like a trend. Publishers is starting already with the influencer marketing from the beginning. But regarding your second point, I can see for smaller. So I was once an indie studio without that much of a budget. And my games, I was lucky enough that they went viral. So one advice I could give for the small indie studios is to think of a content that will be suitable for channels. So you build concepts already thinking of some channels. I've done that with a few games. So for example, I knew a channel that was doing anime videos, and then I created a teamed version of my game for that anime channel, and he picked that up. That was lucky. I mean, he might not have picked that, but even if it was paid, then the product would be 100% suitable for the audience, and therefore the ROI would be very nice.
Thank you very much. That's a great answer. So another question from here is there any silver bullet for picking the right influencer to start your campaign? So let's imagine we have a kind of X budget, and we can either spend it to start an influencer campaign with one very big influencer with a massive audience, or we can partner with, like, I would say, a dozen of smaller ones located in like different geos, having different audiences. What would you recommend in this situation?
I do have an answer, but I would like to first pass to Alexandre because he was deciding the influences on Bytro Labs. So
Sure.
please start first.
Sure. I think that's a common mistake that people do is really go to the biggest influencer. Let's talk about, for instance, let's get a partnership with PewDiePie. We'll get a lot of awareness, installs, and so on. I think that might be a mistake because at Bytro, for instance, we really target influencer categories. So, for instance, for integrations, Call of War works a lot on historical channels because, of course, our game I set up in World War II, for instance, Call of War set up in World War II historically environment. So that's where the audience will be more interested in our games because there are World War fans, history fans, and then further would be more interested in the game. And I think at Bytro, at least, that's what we try to do. We really try to find the most interested audience possible. We did a lot of testing with other type of channel. For instance, Minecraft channels, the audience was not interested. And if I had an advice, I would rather try to select different influencer, even if they are smaller, rather than spend all the budget on one big one. That will bring a lot of installs, that's true. But on the other hand, then the engagement won't be here, in my opinion.
Yeah, what I would add here is that one trend, and it's already standard, that micro influencers they sometimes have a more engaged audience, but on the other hand, the CPM is way higher. So, for example, if you have a guy doing 1,000 views on average, and you're looking for a $20 CPM, he will never accept $20 because he's only doing 1,000 views. So he should accept $20 for hitting the $20 CPM goal. So, for example, if you pick like the extreme case, Mr. Beast, for example, you might be finding 10, $15 CPMs because he's driving 20 million installs. So it's easier to have a price that will match cheaper CPM. So the smaller the creator, the higher the CPM. That's the trend that we have been seeing. And of course, when the CPM is higher, it will affect your ROI. So it's always a balance and depends heavily on the product.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a great idea, and thanks for the insights. Very interesting to listen to this. So we have to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining us today. Goodbye and take care.